Hello friends, and today I'm going to tell you about a German comedy called My Damn Good Friend. Attention, spoilers ahead. I wish you a pleasant viewing. Welcome to Hell, which is located in one of the high-rise buildings in Germany, where the devil himself reigns. Seemingly an ordinary person. In the building of Hell, work is in full swing. Lilith, the daughter of the devil, does not want to let people in, but she does not want to study how to knock a person from virtue through sins, and binds her teacher, so that he does not interfere with her correspondence on the computer. But the devil father worries about his daughter's studies, so he asks her questions to test her knowledge. For example, to tell what envy is. Lilith shows a beautiful and expensive dress, and when her friends see her in this, they will certainly envy her. They will want the same, but since they will not have money for it, it will encourage them to steal. The father is pleased with his daughter, but warns that no magic can be used in public. Lilith asks people to come, because she's bored of sitting in hell. The father is against it. In his opinion, Lilith is still too young for the devil's work. Let her wait for her 18th birthday. That evening, Lilith offers her father to send her to people for a year to be checked. The father agrees, but sets his own conditions. It is he who will choose the place and the person where he will send her, and not for a year, but for a week. If he copes, he will stay with people. If not, he will forever sit in the basement with the teacher and cram everything. Lilith agrees. Lilith and her father are going to a small town called Birkenbro, where the father has found a specially cute family for his daughter. While they are driving in the car, and once again pronounce the story of Lilith's arrival. She came to see the school, because her parents were going to move, and there should be no touching, no pity, only composure. The father gives Lilith a special ball indicator that shows the temperature of her feelings. It should always be black. Lilith meets family members. My mother, Sybil Bernstein, loves knitting, cooking vegetables, and cuddling. Dad is Gabriel Bernstein, and the main object on which Lilith relies is Greta Bernstein, sings in the choir, loves to read and do homework. Lilith sees how disgustingly cute they all are. Everyone sits down at the table to eat baked vegetables that Greta's father grew, and along the way, they discuss how his father talks to vegetables so that they grow better. Everyone is full, and it's time to clear the table. Greta takes the plates, but Lilith offers her help and throws the plates on the floor on purpose. Greta is at a loss.
Is it your fault? Yes, of course.
Moreover, Greta's mom and dad console her with the words that broken plates are for luck. Greta went up to the attic to their bedroom, or Lilith began to ask questions like Greta with drugs, alcohol, lies and friends, and then just looked in to check her wardrobe with clothes, and saw one of the walls in hearts, peeled off with pictures of some guy. Lilith finds out that Greta is very exemplary and correct, and Lilith does not understand what to cling to. In order to anger Greta and encourage her to do bad things, Lilith and Greta go to the school bus to go to school. On the bus, Greta greets the cool girls from Daria and Melody's class.
Fuck off, ugly. Yes, of course. No problem.
Lilith is at a loss why she allows herself to communicate with herself like this. Eddie, the headmaster's son, gets on the bus. Eddie walks up to Greta and glues gum on her hair. Then, Lilith snatches the perfume from Melody's hands, puts it in her mouth, and sprays it through the flame of a lighter on Eddie's hair. Perplexed, he sits down on the seat, takes a hat from his friend to hide his singed hair. All the other guys are just in shock. The bus pulled up to the school, and the guys see how all the students crowded at the entrance. It turns out that their classmate Samuel is sitting on the roof, smoking a cigarette, and in no hurry. To the director's requests to come down immediately, he replies that he has not finished smoking a cigarette yet, but then, after all, like a parking attendant, he descends from the roof of the school, and everyone else goes to classes. At the lesson, the teacher distributes tests for the control to everyone. Samuel makes an origami figure out of this piece of paper, and leaves the class, saying that all this study is not for him. Meanwhile, Lilith takes out a tablet to copy the answers. The time of delivery of the work is approaching, and Greta notices that Lilith has written off the wrong option. Abruptly tears out the piece of paper and shoves it into her mouth. Lilith is perplexed, and Greta says that she saved her. Greta and Lilith see a guy on the street, and the devil remembers pictures from the closet. This is a guy who Greta really likes. His name is Carla. He is a real school heartthrob who moonlights as a G. Lilith approaches him with a request to seduce Greta, for which she will pay him well. She asks him to pretend that he loves her, and then she will leave him after 3 days. Carla approaches Greta and strikes up a conversation. Meanwhile, Lilith meets Samuel in the alley and asks for a cigarette. Here Eddie appears with his friends, claims that Samuel stole his watch and has his henchmen search him. Samuel very skillfully jumps on the roof of one of the low houses, and the guys can't get him. Lilith laughs out loud as she watches all of this. Then, Eddie commands to grab her. Lilith, with her devilish power, rips out a road sign and sets the guys on fire. The fighters are shocked and quickly run away. The guys who were in a street cafe nearby are laughing at the whole situation. Samuel gives one of them a watch that he stole from Eddie, just to annoy him. Samuel invites Lilith to have a snack, and while eating delicious sausages, tells her that he is going to go to Berlin, and he already has a ticket. Lilith shares that she has never seen the sea. Then Samuel offers to look at the sea from the church chapel, because there is a magical view.
I don't really like churches.
But he agrees anyway. They enter the chapel, and Lilith becomes uncomfortable. She quickly runs and goes upstairs. There is really a very beautiful view of the sea at the top, and under the euphoria of a beautiful view, Samuel kisses Lilith. She pushes him away, and urgently runs away from the chapel. Running home, Lilith throws it into the heat, into the cold. She takes out her balloon, and sees that it turns red. At this time, her father calls her to find out how her first day went. In the background, Lilith hears that one of the employees who works for her father falls in love, and he is urgently fired. Because the demons in love are not good for anything. She learns for the first time that demons can fall in love. Lilith shares with Greta that she was walking with Samuel, and Greta tells that Carlo asked her out. Quiet cozy evening. Mom knits. Greta plays with her younger sisters. Father reads. Mom offers Lilith to teach her how to knit, but she only giggles mockingly in response. Mom says that she and Greta are having a mother and daughter knitting party tomorrow. But then, Lilith gives out that Greta has a date. Her parents are very happy for her, and fill up with various tips. Greta runs off to her room. Lilith follows her, and says that she needs to prepare for a date, makes her makeup, hairstyle, and puts on a beautiful dress. Greta looks great, but she understands that her mother will not let her go to school in this form. At this moment, a pebble flies through the window of their room. It's Samuel, who climbed up on the roof, and is waiting for Lilith there. Lilith will climb on the roof. She and Samuel are talking about a kiss. Samuel apologizes for him. Lilith gets angry and heads home. Samuel shouts after her that she is so cute when she is angry, and knows that she likes him. Lilith checks her sense stone. It is also red in color. Greta is going to school, in a beautiful dress. Mom notices and does not let her in these clothes.
Why, in fact, Greta can't decide for herself. Either you follow the rules, or you go home. You could use a change of clothes too.
The girls have no choice but to wear modest dresses, which, by the way, are knitted by their mother. The girls go to the school bus stop, talk, and at this time, Eddie runs up behind Lilith, and tries to set her hair on fire with a spray can and a lighter, to which Lilith makes a swing, and Edis gets right in the nose from the elbow. The girls get on the bus and talk about fashion. Greta's very interested in what it's like to be the most fashionable. Lilith says it's cool, everyone is looking at you, and wants to make friends with you. Greta breaks into a smile, imagining this feeling. Lilith says she will help her test him. They get off the bus, and Lilith loudly flaunts to Greta that she asked her mother for another dress, and did not give that famous singer. Daria and Melody hear this, and cut in on the conversation. Lilith informs them that the designer dresses from Greta's mother have become a real discovery in New York Fashion Week. Friends go to school, and Lilith asks Greta to pose for a photo. Greta stands like a wooden one, and the photo doesn't turn out very well. But then Carla passes by, compliments her, and Greta perks up, starting to pose enthusiastically. At this time, Samuel approaches Lilith to ask her out on a date, but Lilith comes up with that she is very busy. Lilith photoshopped an article about Greta's mom about Fashion Week, shows it to Daria and Melody, and says that all the world stars were at the show. They snatched up all the dresses, but Lilith can ask Greta to get at least one dress. And then Daria and Melody begin to argue among themselves who will get the coveted fashionable dress. A fire alarm goes off at the school, and everyone runs out into the street. Samuel did this to see Lilith, and invite her to go to the sea. Lilith agrees. Lilith somehow rides a bicycle, because she has not done this before, to Samuel, and together they go to the sea. Arriving at the beach, Lilith sees the sea, and can't help but run into knee-deep water. Lying on the beach with Samuel, Lilith receives a message from her father on her phone, asking if she has done a lot of evil deeds. Samuel thinks that Lilith has some kind of problems, and she tells him that her father is very powerful, keeps her in the tower all the time, and she only has a week to be with people. To which Samuel says, if her father locks Lilith in the tower again, he will definitely release her. Then they kiss. At this time, Daria and Melody are rehearsing songs for the annual school holiday. Carla is responsible for the music. Greta comes to the rehearsal, and decides to give her advice to the girls so that they do not sing in unison, but go in a cascade. Carla finds out that Greta sings in the choir. He invites her to join the girls and sing together. The girls sing in threesomes, and they are doing great. Their homeroom teacher comes to them, and says that the director is against the performance of the Trinity, because he saw their clip in short skirts, and this may be a bad example for the younger classes. The girls are very upset. Lilith and Samuel are returning from the beach. Samuel offers to eat ice cream, and while he is buying it, Lilith sees how everyone around is smiling sweetly, hugging and kissing. She is afraid that she is beginning to fall in love, and quickly runs away, runs behind some van to light a cigarette. At this time, Greta's father meets her. Lilith tells him that she really wants to go home with them. They get into the van and drive. On the way to the house, Greta and Carla are seen talking, and want to kiss. But at this moment, The father drives up to them in a van and offers Greta to drop her off at home. Greta sits down upset, and her father realizes that he spoiled her first kiss. The girls at home are talking in their room. Greta is very upset that the date with Carlo fell through and suspects that Carla is just playing with her. Lilith feels sorry for her. She regrets that she bribed Carl. Greta sees Lilith's ball and asks what it is. She replies that it's just a kind of thermometer that her father gave her. Greta calls Lilith for fresh air and at the same time to help pick radishes, but she refuses to help and just sits next to her. Lilith tells Greta about the dispute with her father, that they do not plan to stay in Birkenbro, and that Lilith will need to return to her home on Saturday. And in order to stay here, she has to do a lot of evil deeds. Lilith has fallen in love with this place, and Greta doesn't want Lilith to leave either. At school, Carla again tries to kiss Greta, but this time Lilith pushes him away and says that their deal is broken. Carla replies that he likes Greta anyway, without any deals. Carla tells Greta everything about the deal. Greta is shocked and sends Lilith to hell. Lit can't answer anything, except that she just needs to be angry. Lilith receives a message from Samuel that he is waiting for her on the beach. She goes to him. On the beach, Samuel tells Lilith that he is ready to stay for her, and stuffs his ticket into a bottle and throws it into the sea. But Lilith replies that their acquaintance and the time spent with him is the worst thing that has happened in her life, and leaves. Samuel is at a loss. Lilith gets on the school bus and approaches Greta, but she turns away from her. Then Lilith immediately tells that she left Samuel because she can't be angry because of him, that she fell in love, and her ball turned red, not black. Greta understands that Lilith does not want to be evil, but she does not admit it in any way. Despite this, Greta offers to help her. The annual school holiday has begun. Lilith's father comes to school to check on his daughter and sits down in the hall to watch a concert. Lilith sees him and sits down next to him. At this time, Melody and Greta sprinkle clothes with itchy powder, in which the quartet will perform, replacing them. The headmaster of the school speaks on stage and talks about his trip to Africa. The girls changed the photos at his presentation beforehand, and everyone in the hall laughed at his nude photos with monkeys, and how he urinated next to an elephant. The director urgently finishes his presentation and invites a quartet to the stage, led by his son Eddie. But the quartet's performance also failed. The itchy powder is doing its job. They began to itch and ran off the stage. And now the finest hour of the girls, Greta, Melody, and Daria has come. They are wearing bright makeup, hairstyles, and short dresses from Mom. Greta perform on stage with their song. The whole room is delighted. Lilith's father does not believe his eyes that his daughter has coped with the task, and congratulates her on being assigned the position of a first-level employee, but before that, he asks her to show her balloon. Lilith understands that everything is going to fail now, but the ball turned out to be black. The devil asks in which city Lilith wants to work. She replies that she wants to stay here. The father approves of the choice and leaves. Greta runs up to Lilith with a question about how everything went. Lilith replies that she is staying. They hug, but she is interested in what kind of chaos was at the concert, and Greta admits that she invented it all. Because what can't you do for a friend? Lilith shows off her black ball. Greta says she just painted it over with nail polish. Greta returns to the concert hall, where her parents are slightly shocked by her new image. She runs to Carl's stage, and they finally kiss. Lilith needs to find Samuel urgently. The guys in the street cafe say that he went to Berlin. Lilith rushes to the train station at all times and meets Samuel there, confesses her love, he reciprocates her, and they kiss. Friends, you have no idea how difficult it was to find this film, at least in any acceptable quality. I hope you enjoyed the retelling, and you will like it. Write what films you would like to see on the channel, and click on these pictures to watch other retellings, and I hugged everyone. See you soon.